So I met this really beautiful girl. Everything was perfect. The compatibility was perfect. Time we spent together was perfect. And I thought she's the one. I thought this is the girl I can make my girlfriend. We went out on a couple of dates and suddenly she loses interest. She starts losing interest. She's texting me in one word. She stops looking at my messages. She's replying after days. And I was just thinking, what happened? If you have ever been in this kind of a situation where you've met a girl, you've been out on a few dates with her, you've tried to build that interaction into a relationship and suddenly she loses interest and you're bewildered. What has happened? I have no idea what has happened. I have no clue what I did wrong. Then watch this video till the end because today we're going to be talking about 5 things you should never talk to a woman about no matter what. The first thing that you should never talk about is sexism and body shaming. Now I have a friend. Now in his company there's a rule that everyone has to be extremely fit. Now this guy ended up setting a date with an extremely fit girl and he was just in the car with her and he starts talking about how he has this rule of not having any people who are obese in his company. The girl got super offended. The guy was really interested in the girl. The girl got super offended but didn't say it out loud at that point of time, just shut him off, and the girl was like, I can't continue this. Now at that time she didn't give the real reason, but the real reason was that the girl was extremely offended by his comment. So make sure when you're talking to a girl, you're not just talking about making fun of gay rights, making fun of different people. Make sure that you're very centered when you're talking to a girl because you never know what might trigger her. So I would suggest completely staying away from fat shaming, body shaming. So I was really interested in one girl and we were just having a date and I was like, hey, you sort of eat a little less. And the girl was a little sensitive, so she got affected and she felt really bad that I body shamed her. Though I was not coming from that place because I was on a fixed diet. I wanted to eat more and I was being shy about me ordering a lot of stuff on the table. So I was like, hey, why don't you eat more, right? And the girl took it in the wrong way and she was a little sensitive and she got really mad at me. So I would recommend staying away from all of these things because you have no idea what the person's past was like and you have no idea what is a trigger point for them. So stay away from body shaming, stay away from sexism, because in today's world of equality, if you're being a male chauvinistic pig, no girl is going to look at you as a long-term partner. They might enjoy the date or whatnot, they might have like 2 funny words with you, but she's not going to look at you as a long-term partner. So make sure that you don't talk about all of these things. Also, some people might think that it's extremely cool to make fun of gay rights, it's extremely cool to make fun of whatever is happening in the world, but what happens is sometimes it can negatively trigger a girl. You have no idea who she's friends with, you have no idea what her past experience in life is, and in dating you're meeting people from all walks of life, so I would not recommend being insensitive about other people's emotions. The second thing you should never talk to a woman about is politics and religion. Understand, when you're meeting someone, when you're communicating with someone, you might have a different standpoint, you might have a different point of view, a different perception, different thoughts, different beliefs. So talk about like really sensitive topics like religion and politics, this can break a conversation. And I've also seen fights over politics like crazy. Now you need to understand, whenever you're talking to a woman, try to stay away from these logical, serious, sensitive topics. Instead engage her emotional mind rather than talking about these serious topics. Now you can talk about these sensitive topics once you're actually with her in a relationship and once you are in a relationship to tell you what your beliefs are, but before that, stay away from this. Now the third thing I would suggest staying away from, until unless you know the girl who can take a joke, I would suggest staying away from a lot of dark humor. Now one of my really close friends always had this joke about dead baby jokes and he thought, it's so cool, it's dark humor. Everyone used to laugh on it, but he went out on a first date with a girl and the girl, he was talking about his dead baby jokes as regularly, and the girl was like, what, I've just had an abortion recently and I don't think your fucking jokes are funny. Alright, so you have no idea, if you're meeting a new person, you have no idea what they've been through, and I've been guilty of that too, landing in certain situations, making fun of things that I shouldn't have and then getting in a big problem. So I would suggest staying away from dark humor. If you think, my humor is dark, maybe the girl cannot take it. First you need to understand the woman, first you need to understand what her experiences has been so you can stay clear of that dark humor. So make sure if you're using dark humor, the girl is not that sensitive, and make sure you don't joke about something which has been a past trauma for the girl, because a lot of people do that unknowingly and the girl will probably never tell you that. So that's why I would recommend staying away from making fun about rape situation, making fun about crime situation, making fun about abortions, making fun about dead baby jokes. So do not do that unless you know the person, unless you know what they've been through and what they've overcome in life. The fourth thing that I would recommend not talking to a woman about is your intrusive thoughts. You might have an intrusive thought that you want to be a porn star. You might have an intrusive thought that you want to be a male stripper. Whatever your intrusive thoughts are, keep them to your fucking self. Keep them to yourself. You think that, this girl I can really open up, right? I can tell her, I can give her the keys to the kingdom, I can tell tell her everything that I think. Do not do that. I've seen a lot of guys making this mistake and thinking, oh, I'm really opening up to her. You know, these are my intrusive thoughts. I can talk about my intrusive thoughts. So whatever your intrusive thoughts are, keep them to yourself and do not disclose them in front of the girl. Alright, you might think it's cool to talk about that, but the girl might get extremely scared, extremely nervous, and she might be like, alright, this guy's a weirdo. I don't see a future with a weirdo. So anything you say which is not normal or which is out of the ordinary, keep it to yourself. Alright, keep it to yourself. I've been guilty a lot of times doing this mistake and just realizing after doing this mistake, oh, I fucked up. And the girl suddenly loses interest over the period of time. And at that time, she might think of you as a potential sex partner, but she will not think of you as a potential long-term partner. So you have to make that differentiation by not talking shit. And I understand, when you're learning game, when you're learning social skills, we teach you to be more polarizing, we teach you to do all of these things. But when you're actually starting to build something, a deeper relationship with a woman, you need to stay clear of all these things, which can actually be a negative, and the girl can judge you because of that. Now, if you don't want to mess up your dates by saying shit that you shouldn't be saying, and if you want to understand women on a deeper level, you want to understand female psychology, I would strongly recommend clicking on the link over here, because I've created a video just for that. And for those of you who do not want to make such mistakes in your dating life and you want a seamless dating life, schedule a call with my team and let's see how we can improve your dating life this year.